the time to see me, Alan. I know how busy you are.
Never too busy to see an executive vice president of Spaulding Enterprises. What can I do for you, Vanessa?
Well, that's just it. I realize I haven't been acting very much like an executive vice president recently.
Yes, you have seemed rather distracted. Please,
Thank you. Well, I'm afraid that I've allowed my personal life to take precedence over my job, and I just want to let you know that that's not going to continue.
Yeah, well, I would have thought you had other things occupying your time. The wedding is coming up soon, isn't it?
No, that's just it. It isn't.
Oh, you postponed it?
I've canceled it.
Canceled it?
Yes, I have broken off my engagement with Billy Lewis.
But there was a poster with our faces, our pictures on it. $10,000 more.
Yeah, not to worry. We'll be safe here and nothing to worry about.
It's got to be Ellen. Has to be. We only won't have enough money to do that. My father, or my guy that raised me. It can't be Bradley.
No, would he have any reason to do this?
Yeah, sure. He won't leave me alone.
Well, how would he know? Would Rick and Minnie tell him?
No, they're your friends. But don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. You'll be safe and snug here. Come along.
You sure they won't find us here?
No. Nobody knows where this place is.
What else can we do? Here we go.
Come along.
Look at the castle. It's beautiful. Oh, we have to go there sometime, please.
Go look for a room there?
It's all right.
Is my watch broken or are you too early?
No, we're early.
We need to talk to Trudy, Mother. Is she back?
Oh, well, she just called. She's not going to be here for another hour or so. Sorry.
Oh, great. Well, what are we going to do? I hope Trudy doesn't pitch a fit when she finds out we're quitting without giving her any notice.
If she does, Minnie, that's too bad because we're going back to Springfield tonight, no matter what.
Well, I don't see what our big rush is.
Mindy, there's no reason to stay here now that we know Beth and Philip are all right. Right?
Right.
Okay.
You are right.
You're wrong, Bauer. You and Mindy aren't going anywhere till I say so.
Guiding light.
Are you sure we're doing the right thing, leaving like this?
Mindy, you read that letter that Philip and Beth left? They just don't want to be found yet, that's all.
Yeah, well, maybe they need our help.
They're fine, Mindy. And you saw that for yourself, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I wonder if they'll ever go back to Springfield.
Who knows?
Actually, I don't blame them for staying. I'd stay too if I knew Mr. Spaulding and Mr. Raines were just waiting there to put the screws on the minute I got back.
Especially Mr. Raines. I'll tell you something, Mindy, that guy's a real maniac.
Oh, you could say that again. I can imagine the way he treats Beth after some of the things he said to me.
Wait a minute, what kind of things?
Just things.
What'd he say, Mindy? Come on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Tell me. Don't play with this. Tell me what he say. What'd he say?
I get the goosebumps every time I think about it. I ran into him at the hospital, and he started yelling at me for no reason at all.
Oh, did he threaten you?
No, but he called me a slut.
He said that?
Yeah, and he had this icky smile on his face. He scared me.
Mindy, why didn't you tell me that?
I just wanted to forget it. Besides, he's a nobody.
I'll tell you something. I'm glad Philip and Beth managed to get away from that guy.
Oh, what about your other friends? They were here Christmas Eve. Don't they live here anymore?
No, they're in their own places now.
Oh, good.
Just make sure no one is around to see you coming in.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Are we trespassing here?
No, that's all been taken care of.
Thank you, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
This is just like having our very own guardian angel.
There you are. All your problems are solved.
Well, they might be if we didn't have to eat, stuff like that.
Oh, what about Beth's drawings? I heard they were selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, they were. Till Alan started, my father, started plastering our faces all over Manhattan.
Alan's people would pick us up in a minute if we even showed our faces.
Well, maybe you don't have to.
Don't have to what?
Show your faces.
I don't understand.
I'll tell you what. I have a few things that I need to take care of, so why don't the two of you make yourselves comfortable here until I come back? Then we'll discuss this further, hmm?
Thanks for everything, Nick.
Yeah. Thanks.
Isn't he wonderful?
He's all right.
Philip Spaulding.
What?
Even a dyed-in-the-wool cynic like you has to admit that that man is pretty special.
I haven't figured him out yet. Sometimes I think he's just this old bum that happens to know his way around New York City. And
Well,
then...
maybe he is. In fact, he probably is. But he's the one who made it possible for us to be together. And I think that that is very special, too.
Well, I can't argue with him.
Good.
Even Alan, with all his money, couldn't do that, could he?
I love you.
I'm rather fond of you as well.
Good.
You've done an excellent job, Vanessa.
Thank you.
This report is very thorough. I'm sure that the people at Franklin Associates are going to be very impressed with your recommendations.
Well, I hope so. And, Alan, I want to let you know that I'm going to be working harder than I ever have for Spaulding Enterprises. And, I know that our relationship has left a lot to be desired, but, I think that will change.
Well, I'm sure that it will.
Good. Now, excuse me.
Vanessa,
Yes?
I don't mean to pry. Well, I was just wondering if your difficulties with Billy arose from the fact that you have a position here at Spaulding.
No. My difficulties with Billy are purely personal.
I see. I'd hate to think that your job was the reason for your troubles.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I must get back to my office. I'm expecting a conference call.
Vanessa,
Yes?
please take care of yourself. And look, why don't you speak to Henry and suggest that we all have dinner together sometime very soon? You know, he's come back to work here. I hardly ever see him.
Yes, I will.
Good. Yes, Virginia, would you get a hold of Reva Lewis and ask her to come to my office as soon as possible? Oh, and order a bottle of champagne. And Virginia, I want you to keep an eye on Vanessa Chamberlain for me. You know, visitors that she has, phone calls, mail, that sort of thing. Let me know as soon as possible. Right. Thank you. Poor Vanessa. Poor, broken-hearted Vanessa.
I notified earlier. I do understand, but you have to understand. My research isn't nearly as far along as I hoped it would be. Now, the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta should realize that. Yes, of course. I appreciate your calling. Look, let me know the minute you get any further reports, please. Thank you. How am I supposed to concentrate now? Somehow, some way, this may be the answer, but how can I find out? Quentin Chamberlain, please. And tell him it's an emergency.
Quitting time.
Oh, hi. What can I do for you?
Well, I was wondering if you might want to have a little talk.
Josh, look, I don't want to talk about Billy. I really do not. I just swallowed my pride with Mr. Alan Spaulding, and I don't want to start defending myself with you.
Vanessa, you don't have to defend yourself to me. Or to anyone else, for that matter. I know Billy was the one that botched this whole thing up.
Goes a little deeper than that.
I know Billy did not handle this mess as well as he could have, but, Vanessa, that doesn't change the fact that he loves you very much.
People who love each other usually manage to talk to each other and confide in each other.
Billy has a tendency to go off and do whatever he wants to do without telling anybody about it. He also thinks he's always right, which is one of the reasons that he and I don't always get along very well.
Fine. Then you know why I broke off my engagement and the conversation is finished.
No, I don't. I'll tell you, in spite of Billy's faults, I love him very much. And I think that you do, too.
I refuse to be one of those long-suffering wives who's always saying, well, that's just the way he is every time her husband does some other horrible thing.
Vanessa, I don't blame you one little bit, but I really think that Billy has learned a lot from this.
Oh, do you really? Well, then you're a bigger fool than I am. So I saw him just yesterday at the country club with Reva.
Don't you realize that that means nothing? Reva doesn't want Billy. If she did, why would she be giving him the divorce so easily?
I don't know. Maybe she's changed her tactics, figured out some other way to get what she wants. You know, that woman is a pro. It's just that her hourly rates are a little bit higher.
Hey, wait a minute.
No, you wait a minute. Those two had their funny little secret while I went parading around town with a married man. Do you really expect me to forgive that?
Is that what this is all about, Vanessa? Your pride? Is that really what you're worried about?
He can be manipulated by that cheap piece of trash if he wants to, but don't expect me to go along for the ride.
Hey, look, your argument is with Billy, not Reva. So why don't you stop taking cheap shots at her and realize that what she's doing here is actually turning out to be a very decent thing?
Woo! Listen to you. Think you were in love with a woman.
Vanessa, Billy has been a very different man since he fell in love with you. You've been very different yourself. I would hate to see the two of you lose that.
Thank you. But it's too late because it's over.
You're making a mistake. You and Billy belong together. If you leave him now, you'll be alone. Is that what you really want?
I am alone. And I hope Reva's a very happy woman.
How long has he been with her? I see. Well, let me know the minute he leaves, Virginia. Thank you. Right, thanks.
Alan, what is this all about?
Hello, Reva.
Well, your secretary told me to get down here on the double, honey. Now, what's the big emergency? I barely had time to grab my coat.
Well, I thought you might want to share this with me.
That's what you called me down here? What, you running out drinking buddies or something, Alan?
No, I am celebrating the dissolution of the Chamberlain-Lewis merger, and I owe it all to you.
The Chamberlain-Lewis merger, I assume you're referring to Vanessa and Billy.
That's right. They've broken off the engagement.
That's why you called me down here to tell me that?
Well, I thought you'd like to know.
Alan, that is very thoughtful of you, but it's also a little dangerous.
Dangerous?
Vanessa's office is right down the corridor, sweetie. If she saw us here together, that could be dangerous.
Nonsense. Vanessa is occupied at the moment. Josh Lewis is paying her a call.
Josh?
That's right.
How do you know that?
I know just about everything that happens in this building. Now, let me propose a toast.
Don't you think you might be being just a little premature on this? How can you be so sure that Billy and Vanessa are through?
Because I heard it from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
From Vanessa?
That's right. She was here earlier. She seemed very upset by what had happened.
Really?
You know, Reva, somehow I thought you would have shown a little more enthusiasm for our victory. I mean, this is good news for both of us.
Oh, yes, it is. It is. It's just that I had lunch with Billy yesterday, and even though he says things are over with he and Vanessa, I just assumed maybe they might have patched things up. But I guess I was wrong.
You certainly are wrong. You underestimate your talents. As far as I know, the damage is irreparable.
Ain't I something?
You are indeed, and this calls for a celebration.
That means you no longer have to worry about Vanessa's stock in your precious little company becoming community property of Billy Lewis.
That's right, and you get your well-deserved reward.
Woo-wee, look at all those zeros.
I hope that's satisfactory. That was our original agreement. Triple the retainer when Billy and Vanessa broke off the engagement.
That's right.
Now we both got what we want. I've got Billy cut down to size, and you've got some money to take you back to Tulsa so you can get on with your life there.
Yeah.
You are planning to go back to Tulsa, aren't you?
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not sure. I might hang around Springfield for a while.
Any particular reason?
There's a couple of things I've started to like about Springfield. Oh, you wouldn't mind, would you, Alan?
Oh, no, of course not. But of course, that means that our association would be over. You see, I don't want anyone to find out that I'm responsible for bringing you to Springfield. And, of course, I won't be under any further obligation to help you.
Aha, of course. I think I can do just fine without any of your help, Alan.
I'm sure you can. Now, let's drink that toast before this champagne loses its sparkle.
That's right. It's just a celebration, right?
Indeed it is. To Reva and your many talents. And a satisfactory association. I hope the feeling is mutual.
Yeah, well, you can bet on that, Alan, honey. It's been just swell.
Would you mind telling me what the big emergency is? Your call upset my housekeeper.
I had to see you right away. What was I supposed to say? I needed a fourth for bridge?
Now, you asked me not to tell anyone that I had spoken to you, and I agreed, but you're making that awfully difficult to do.
It was very important that I talked to you.
Well, let me tell you something, Dr. Stevens. My wife is very pregnant right now and very curious as to why I'm receiving mysterious phone calls.
Your wife is pregnant?
Yes. And so I don't want her upset right now. Do you understand? Now, what's so urgent that you had to see me in person?
It's about the necklace.
We have been through that already, and I told you everything I know.
But you haven't told me everything there is to know, and I need to know more, Mr. Chamberlain. And you're the only one that can help.
Stevens.
We're not talking about a piece of jewelry, Mr. Chamberlain. This necklace is very important to my research.
Then find the information yourself.
Believe me, if I could, I would. But I'm not an archaeologist. I don't have your background or the time.
Perhaps I don't have the time either. Did that thought ever cross your mind, Dr. Stevens?
Make the time.
You know, I think this may come as a big shock to you. But you'll get a better response from people when you tell them exactly what it is you're after, instead of snapping orders at them all the time.
Mr. Chamberlain, I'm a specialist in infectious diseases. That's the work I was doing in San Rios.
I am familiar with the scientific journals, Dr. Stevens.
My research for the past several years is centered on a disease that the natives of San Rios calls Extabe.
Extabe? That's an Inca word. It means the siren that lures men to their death.
That's right. It derives its name from the delirium that's brought on at the onset of the disease.
Is this Extabe fatal?
No. Well, in most of the cases I've studied so far, always. I've been able to isolate the cause of the disease, but I haven't been able to develop an antidote yet, and now it's spreading. That's why time is so important. If this disease isn't contained quickly, it could get in the United States.
You're talking epidemic here.
Of worldwide proportion.
All right, all right. Now, where does the necklace fit in?
The necklace was given to me by the medicine man of one of the tribes I was studying in South America.
Did the disease affect this tribe?
No, no. Strangely enough, the natives seem to have a natural immunity to the disease.
Do you know why?
I studied them over 2 years. They seem no different than any other tribes in that area of the interior.
I see. Did the disease have any effect on the other tribes?
Decimated. Totally wiped out.
This medicine man, did he tell you why his particular tribe was immune to the disease?
Faith. Faith in the unknown. Zamana was skeptical of my reliance on scientific proof. To tell you the truth, I was rather skeptical of his faith in the unknown.
Samana?
Yes, that was his name.
Samana, that's the name for the creator, according to the Incas. It's the god of water. It also means water.
Very good.
I see. I suppose you checked out the water supply.
I've cultured samples of that water so many times I can see them in my sleep. And no, there's nothing that's effective against that organism in that water.
But you think there's something about this necklace that is effective against the disease?
I didn't say that. But at the moment, there's very little else to go on.
I see. So that's why you came to me.
Mr. Chamberlain, millions of lives could be at stake here. And you're the only one here that can help me.
All right. I'll take the necklace, I'll go back to the lab, and I'll examine it again.
Thanks.
Oh, and Dr. Stevens, I hope your motives are as altruistic as they seem to be.
Why shouldn't they be?
Well, there's a saying in the Book of Proofs of the Incas. He who understands will someday be ruler over the people. I'll be in touch.
Darling, it's after 5.
Is it?
Oh, yes, time to go home.
Well, all right. I guess I can do this stuff at home as well as in the office.
Can't it wait till Monday?
No, it can't. I promised Alan Spaulding that I would devote all of my energies to Spaulding Enterprises, and I mean to see that I do just that.
Oh, darling, don't do this to yourself.
Do what?
Oh, exhaust yourself with work in this way just to conceal the fact that you've lost Billy.
Would you rather that I cavorted around town with a married man?
Oh, I wish you wouldn't sound like that. It's so bitter of you.
I have reason to be.
Well, of course you do. But you two seemed so happy.
Yes. Seemed. That's the operative word there, I think. Seemed.
Oh, yes, but this legal problem, it doesn't eliminate the fact that you
Darling, why don't we have our lawyers look into this and see what they can do?
Would you tell me something, Daddy?
Come on.
Why is it that everybody in this town thinks that whatever Billy Lewis does is just dandy and that I'm the one who's being unreasonable?
Oh, darling, I don't think that. I think he's behaved shamefully. And I wouldn't say a word if you were happy, but you're not. You're miserable.
Well, what do you expect? I just broke off my engagement. You can't expect me to be Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. It takes time.
Oh, I know it does, darling. It's just that I love you. I want you to be happy.
Oh. Thank you, Daddy. And I will be. I'll be very happy, much happier this way than if I lived the rest of my life trying to anticipate every little trick that Reva Lewis was going to pull on me.
Oh, please don't mention that woman's name. To think that I stood here and let her charm me as though I were some prep school boy.
Daddy, she makes a living charming people.
Mr. Lewis? Hello, Tony.
Nice to see you under different circumstances.
Nice to see you, too. Bad times are over, right?
Yes, sir, all over.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm late, HB.
I tell you what, gentlemen, name your poison. The first round's on the house.
That's downright neighborly. What'll you have, son?
I think I had 2 fingers of bourbon and no ice.
Same for me.
You got it.
He's a nice fella.
Yeah, just like his daddy before him. Now, tell me, son, how are things going with you and Miss Vanessa?
They ain't going, Daddy.
Now, what kind of talk is that for Lewis? What do you mean they're not going?
I mean just that, they're not going.
Well, you got to do something to get her back.
What can I do? Hey, look, I've already tried talking to her. She ain't gonna listen.
Well, what's the next step?
There ain't no next step.
What?
Here you go, gentlemen. Enjoy.
Son, you can't let a fine woman like Vanessa Chamberlain go without a fight.
Look, Daddy, I'm tired of fighting. Besides, you weren't worried about that fine woman when you were squiring Miss Reva all over Springfield.
Now, what in the hell has that got to do with the price of tea in China? I like Reva. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. No, I like Reva, too. Hey, since she come to Springfield, she's had a change of heart. Which more than I can say for Vanessa.
Billy Lewis, you can't let Vanessa Chamberlain walk away and let all that money walk away, or you'll be a big fool.
Daddy, I don't give a tinker's damn about Vanessa Chamberlain's money. I love that woman.
Well, then I don't understand the problem.
The problem? Well, the problem is that I don't intend to spend the next 50 years of my life accounting for everything I do.
Well, in that case, I guess there's not much point in my going on making any suggestions, is there?
No, that's right. There isn't. Let's drink up. We got another stop to make.
Where's that?
Well, I thought we'd pay a little visit to Miss Reva. Seems like she's the only woman I can count on anymore. Here, I'll get this.
No, mine. Mine.
No. There's...
Josh.
Hello, Reva.
How did you get in here?
Anita let me in.
Anita!
She's not here. I told her I wanted to talk to you alone.
I thought you pretty much said everything you had to say the other night when you were here.
Not quite.
Look, Joshua, I told Billy that I was giving him a divorce with nothing in return, so why are you still on my case?
I'm not sure, really. I just know that Billy and Vanessa are very unhappy, and you seem to be the reason.
Maybe I was in the beginning, but I'm not anymore. I have changed. Even Billy sees that.
You haven't changed. When you got wind of Billy's engagement, you came here to Springfield to do as much trouble as you possibly could.
Excuse me. Say, listen, I'm gonna put some salt in the front walk before the crowd hits. It was pretty icy when I came in.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And since we don't have any customers, I'm going to take last night's receipts to the bank.
Another good idea. Floyd,
As long as Lola's going to the bank, why don't you let her take that money of yours over there with her?
Forget it. That money stays where it is.
Lloyd, do you know how crazy that is?
I don't care, crazy or not. I like it right where it is, all right?
Lloyd, did anyone ever tell you that you are the second most stubborn person in the entire world?
Well, who's the first?
Me.
Forget it, Lola. It's like knocking on granite.
All right, I give up.
Go on, you two get out of here. I'll hold the fort down while you're gone.
We'll be back in a jiff, boss.
Okay, listen, since you're not doing anything, I hate to see you sitting around like this. Why don't you get a couple of cases of beer out of the stock?
Hey, kid, that's what bosses are supposed to do, is sit around and do nothing, isn't it?
Well, if you need any help, just give a holler, all right?
Think I can handle 2 cases of beer.
Hope we'll need 2 cases of beer tonight.
Come on, Rick, let's go. I'm getting tired of waiting.
Mindy, we have to tell Trudy that we're going to leave.
It's been 2 hours and she still isn't here yet.
I know, but we have to give her a notice, all right?
Why? We'll never see her anyway.
Right. And we'll never see our checks again. And at the moment, that's the only thing that's going to get us back to Springfield.
Oh, let me tell you, working 8 hours and being poor, Springfield looks pretty good right now. Oh, there's Trudy right now. I'll leave all the explaining to you, okay?
I knew you'd say that.
Because you're so good with words, Rick.
Hi, kids. Marla said you wanted to talk to me.
That's right.
Yes, Mindy got something special worked up for tonight?
Not exactly.
You know, I was going through the books this afternoon, and business has really picked up since you started playing here. Things continue this way, I might just have to give you a raise.
That's great, isn't it?
It really is.
Rick, why aren't you wearing your apron? It's just about time to start.
Oh, it is. It is. I guess time kind of slipped by me there.
Rick?
Actually, we decided to go back to Springfield.
You what?
Trudy, we're going home.
Oh, swell. I mean, that's really terrific. I thought I could count on you,
I'm sorry,
kids.
Trudy. I'm really sorry. I know this is an inconvenience for you, but could you just please give us our
putting
check?
it mildly. Where am I going to get somebody to fill in for you at this hour?
Always get Marla. She's always talking about what a great cook she is.
Yeah, and you can wait tables. And just for tonight, besides, when you get right down to it, I guess I was kind of a lousy cook.
That's true. You were. Oh, maybe you're right. Maybe it's all for the best.
Sure it is. So, if you'll just give us our checks, we'll just
Money. Look, I cannot give you any money right now. My accountant does the books once a week.
Why? We gotta get paid.
Well, I'll mail it to you.
Oh, great. That's great. What are we gonna do now?
You kids are really in a bind.
Yeah, you might say that.
Well, why didn't you ask that friend of yours for some money?
I'm sorry, what friend of ours?
The man who was in here the other day asking for you.
Look,
Wait a minute, was he a young guy about our age?
No, he was older, around 40.
We don't know anybody in New York. Couldn't you just give us an advance on the money?
Oh, I am sorry. I really am, but I just don't keep that kind of spare cash around.
Well, listen, thanks anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey, I'm sorry. Those are the breaks. Oh, there he is.
Great.
That's Bradley Ray! Rick, where is he? Did you catch him?
I lost him, Mindy.
Oh, how could you lose him?
Mindy, he went down to the subway, he went down the platform, and I just couldn't find him.
What are we gonna do now?
I don't know, Mindy, I don't know.
Listen, kids, I just talked to Marla, and she says there is no way she's going to cook here.
No way.
She says she cooks at home for the kids, but that's it.
Actually, Trudy, we changed our mind. We'd like to have our jobs back.
Rick.
I mean, if that's all right with you.
You know, you're really nuts. I mean it. You know that. You're really totally wacko.
Well, I guess we are. A little.
Would you do me a favor?
What's that?
Give me more than 2 seconds notice the next time you start to quit.
We will. We definitely will.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell her we're leaving?
Because we're not.
What?
We're not, Mindy.
That Bradley Raines guy is crazy. There's no telling what he'll do.
Exactly. That's why we are staying here to warn Philip and Beth.
We don't even know where they are.
Somehow, Mindy, we're going to find a way. We will find a way. We did last time, right?
Rick, this is New York, Rick. Oh, boy.
I got it.
Oh, boy.
I got it.
God.
It's a little heavy for you.
No.
Watch out for the spear.
Ooh, I wonder where Nick is.
I don't know,
It's
maybe
only
he's...
been 2 hours.
That's right. Maybe he's having a little trouble with his latest miracle. Watch that.
Careful these
Is this going to make that big a difference?
Yes. On.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Nick.
I'm sorry I'm late, but it took me a little longer than I expected to find my friend here.
Well, that's Charlie, man. He was here at Christmas.
That's right. And he has graciously consented to teach you and Philip a few tricks of his trade.
I don't think I follow.
Well, so you can go outside and earn what you need to make a living.
I told you, our faces are all over New York. We can't go anywhere.
Philip's right.
Mm-hmm. But if you're made up like my friend here, who will ever know they're your faces?
Wait.
Well, Nick, you're a genius. No. Now we can go outside with nothing.
Whoa! Wait a minute. You want us to make ourselves up to look like him?
Unless you have some objection.
Wow.
It's worth a try. Come on, it's worth a try. Come on.
All right. I'll try anything.
You're really angry with me, aren't you?
If you were a man, Reva, we would settle this right now.
But I'm not a man.
No, you're not.
I like it when you look at me like that. With fire in your eyes. Lets me know you still care. Bud.
Don't you call me that.
Why not? It's how I think of you. And I always will.
That was a long time ago, Reva. We're not kids anymore.
Do you ever think about Cross Creek?
I do.
You know how some moments in your life are so perfect that they become crystallized in your mind, and then it's more than a memory. It's something out of time and place. That's what Cross Creek was.
Why are you bringing up Cross Creek, Reva?
Because I need it. It's helped me through a lot of bad times. Caused a lot of bad times, too.
We had sex, that was all.
Don't say that. You know, all my life has been a lesson in second best. I lost you. I took Billy second. Billy was married before. I was the second wife. But then what's the difference?
The difference is that I loved you. You married my brother, for God's sake.
Damn right I did. Where were you?
I was making a life for myself. Outside the shadow of some oil well. That's where I was. Don't you talk to me about Cross
I am going to talk about it, and you're going to listen. I'm going to say it once, and then you're not going to hear anything about this from me again. Because I was alive then. And I remember it. Every time I've looked up into another man's face, I've seen yours.
I really do not want to hear
What?
this, all right?
What, that I've slept with other men? Yes, I have. And I have used every one of them to try to help me forget you. And I can't.
Why not? Because it was your finest performance.
That's not true, and you know it. You know how they say you never forget your first love? Well, not only have I never forgotten it, I still dream about it. I am so close to having everything I've ever wanted. Money, position, power. And what do I dream about every night? Your face. The same color as the sky and the way the sun fell across your face. Your lips. Cool from the water. The heat. The sounds your hands on me. The first time. I loved you then. I still do. God help me, I still do! Oh, God.
God help us both then.
love, and you are my girl. Nothing can hurt you. Oh, because I am really gonna love you so
Oh, man, give me a break! Why doesn't anybody give me a break? What you make me hit you so hard for?
In Guiding Light. Fashions provided by Lily Rubin Salons, South Southwest, and Barney's. Jewelry by Miriam Haskell.